What's going on, man? How you doing?
And I'm good. I got my Coke Zero,
There we
and I
go.
got this. This is probably not the best thing for nose, but I got a couple snuffles like my sinuses today. So if you guys hear me snuffling on
Oh,
this live, it's that. But I
paper
figured this might be
towels.
a trick. This is
There we
where we're
go.
at with blowing my nose today, where I'm just like, okay, we're on live for an hour. This is where I'm at with it. So forgive me
100%.
if I mute myself and have to blow my nose, but a lot of great
That's
things to talk
funny.
about today. Eli, I know you're going to give the intro. We've done a lot of commercial developments of just the big things that are coming to Colorado, but we still want to keep it true to what we're doing as well with a lot of home communities and master plan communities. So we're going to be diving back into some of these master plan developments and giving you guys some more context on what to look forward as well. And we just got done doing some video on that in a great spot today at the Canyons. Phenomenal video, phenomenal builder. That's the dedicated builder in this area. If you guys are curious about the Southeast, Castle Rock, Castle Pines, Lone
Mhm.
Tree, you're definitely going to want to stay tuned. Check that video out. There's our number down below. We'll keep us scrolling through across on this live tonight. If you guys have questions, as always, throw them into the comments. Say hello. Say what you're snacking on. If you're blowing your nose too, would love to share some of that with me. Otherwise, Eli, man, let's get right into it.
That's right. That's right. So this is our final live of 2025. And as we are moving into the new year with you guys, we wanted to show you guys the top brand new housing developments that are coming to the South Denver metro area in 2026. And by
Moment of
brand
silence
new,
for high rates. A moment of silence for inventory.
yes,
Hey,
exactly.
2026 is looking great. A lot of folks are excited. We're excited. We're ready to go.
That's right. Now, and by brand new, guys, we mean literally brand new.
Yeah.
We're going to feature 4 of these communities today. One of them is already developed and developing, but the other 3, they are literally breaking ground, laying all of the infrastructure. So these are brand new, coming in 2026, and we're super excited for them because Colorado is only getting bigger and more expansive. But one of the things that we love about this is as these new communities are up and coming. You guys heard me say this on a lot of the lives. The developers are doing such a good job to keep them Colorado. And what do we mean by keeping them Colorado? We mean keeping a focus on open space and nature and trails. All are a priority in addition to like mixed use, live, work, shop places and things like that. And, all these communities are perfect renditions of what it means to be a great Colorado master plan community, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Now,
Agreed.
starting off, we are going to dive into Tanterra in Parker. I'm going to give you
Yes.
guys a few quick details here, and then we're going to show you guys the map and then show you some renderings and some more details in terms of what's to come here.
Correct.
So Tanterra is,
What's up, buddy? Good evening.
hey,
Eli, I don't
now,
know how to write back to comments, so I just shouted out while we're on here. I
yeah,
figured
no, that's perfect. I
use
honestly don't know if we can type back.
whether it's cutting you off on our videos, which I think I'm a lot better than when we first started.
Oh, we're great now. Yeah, we're
Or
great.
on these now. We're gonna do it.
So Tanterra, guys, we're looking at 3,300 homes planned out across around 1,200 acres. Now, out of those 1,200 acres, 286 acres are designated to open space, and 50 acres of that is going to be neighborhood parks. So you can imagine how many little pocket parks and things like that they're going to have in this. Some of the main community amenities are going to have your clubhouse, your pool, playgrounds, sports courts, and things like that. You're going to have a lot of builders here. I'm going to show you guys those builders here in a moment, and then we're going to dive into pricing as well.
Correct.
So,
And Eli, can we give a bird's eye view just on where
yeah,
Tanterra is, just from broad as we kind of narrow that down?
100%. So let's jump
Especially
over
even
there.
though some of these folks that come on and watch these lives are familiar with a lot of these areas that we talk about, we can go broad and get into the micro with these being so new. Even if you're familiar with Castle Rock and Castle Pines and things like that, just getting a little bit more narrow might help as far as
Oh,
specifics.
yeah. Nope, that's perfect. So let's go ahead and show you guys this here. Let me change our map. I don't need terrain. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to zoom out here. So we're going to give context. So we've got Denver right here. And real quick, side note, this is a traffic map. And look at how clear I-25 is right now at 6 o'clock on what? A Tuesday night. You've got a
Yep.
couple little places of yellow. You've got some red here on 225 and up on I-70. We talk about that a lot. But I-25
Yeah.
is flowing smoothly right now.
And look at this map. I know you can see like these green highways, but look at all of the green highways in and out of Denver. And then as you zoom in just a little bit, look at all the roads that aren't highlighted. They're just gray. A lot of those are main roads that get you into the main neighborhoods closer to Denver. Like, why does that matter? Because a lot of times, if you're only a couple miles, if you're Wash Park, if you're Cherry Creek, if you're, oh man, even parts of DTC, like you don't necessarily have to get on the highway to go home. So it keeps the highway reserved for people that are just traveling a little bit further, et cetera, et cetera. Agreed. Parker and Castle Rock are, and there are a lot of our choices as well. I mean, either one good, but this is great that you popped this up. We should pop this up every time we're on here. Sometimes it's hard to believe when we tell folks how clear our traffic is. And even when it is our rush hour, 4 or 5 o'clock, average speed limit's like 34 miles an hour. You don't really get too many dead stops except for 1 or 2 little congested exits, but it goes back to flowing. But again, it's all of these other roads that connect in and out of the city that just allow all the people that are incrementally close to downtown Denver stay off the highways to get home. I remember when I lived in Southern California, dude, you couldn't go 5 miles north or south without getting on the highway. And I felt like that's why the highways were always so congested. There just wasn't an option. Part of that's probably also being up against the actual coast. But man, this is a great benefit. I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah, same. Inevitably, we always get some locals that are like, Castle Rock is not 34 minutes away. And we're like, all right, I'm looking at the map right now. Sorry, guys. All right. So moving along here, we've got Denver right up here. Now, as we come down south and east of Denver, we're going to start coming into Parker. Now, to give you guys a little bit of perspective here, Parker sits just northeast of Castle Rock right here, about 25 minutes away. Now, as we come in here and we start zooming in on Parker, you're going to see this road right here, Hess Road. Now, Tanterra is going to be building out this whole community over here just to the west of Anthology, which is about a 5-year-old development that's already all said and done and everything like that. So this is where we're sitting, and Chambers Road, it sits right between Chambers and Motzenbacher. Chambers Road is important because Chambers is a main north-south road that is really good. It's really fast. That'll take you all the way up to Lincoln if you would like. It'll take you all the way up to 470 if you would like. But what's really nice is that Hess Road right here, which is going to run just along the north side of Tanterra, now connects all the way to I-25. So whether you guys are coming down from Denver or up from Castle Rock, you can just exit Hess Road, and then you can take Hess Road all the way to your new neighborhood here in Tanterra.
Is Hess Road, is that south of like that Sky Ridge exit? Is that south of it?
Yep. So that's up here at Ridgegate, and then Hess is just one block south.
Ridgegate, correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
Well, Ridgegate also goes all the way through. I know that's been there a little bit longer 100%. Than Hess, but both of those right there that you guys can see that are going from left to right across your screen, which would be west to east across your screen, those two main ones, man, those have been huge for all of Castle Rock and just the overall community.
Yep. I remember back in the day when I, first lived in Parker, neither one of these existed. So you'd always have to take Lincoln, battle all this traffic all the way to Parker, and then battle Parker Road traffic all the way down, only to come back all the way over here. So both these two exits are huge. Now, as we come over to Tanterra's website, this is probably the best place to start. We talked to 3,300 homes, 1,200 acres of terrain. And what I want to show you guys here are just some of the renderings that they have here for some of the amenities that they're going to have here. So here they have Trailhead Park. The centrally located park at Tanterra spans 30 acres just for this one park, a 30-acre park. That's huge. Highlighting existing topography through the design of multi-level play areas made up of a single track bike trail. Multi-purpose turf areas, shade structures, turf trails, and a community pool. So again, all these are renderings right now, but if you guys drive by there, all of these things are in the works. Will, when we're out there, we'll have to play a little friendly game of cornhole like these two guys are doing here. That is one of Will's most favorite and most competitive games.
Okay. The story for another day. Let's just say Will's
another day.
In my nature. Typically, I'm friendly, but if you want to bring it, you're going to bring it.
That's right.
Okay, digress. If you put Marines that serve together It doesn't matter what we're playing. It's gonna
Great
get
point.
ugly. How about we just
Great
leave it
point.
at that? Shout out to
Great
Brian
point.
Shantosh, one of my commanders, an amazing human, literally rode the Atlantic Ocean, right? Like an amazing human, Neighbor Cross recipient, couldn't be one of my closest friends. However, when it comes to cornhole, I'm pretty dude. I'm not backing down, man. We're doing it. So Marines and cornhole,
That's
Marines and
awesome.
football, Marines and anything. It's just, man, that's how it's gonna go. And no,
I
everyone
love
made
it.
out okay. Everyone had their limbs.
That's awesome. Now, so far, as far as
Eli,
the builders,
we need a story time on here one day where we could
we
just talk
do
about our history of you and I in real estate, our
how we
YouTube
met.
channel, how we've grown. We've literally, guys, just digress, just let you know real quick. Eli and I were literally having children with our wives at the same time.
Oh yeah,
And Sim and I were meeting and growing our company and growing our YouTube channel. We've literally grown up in real estate for the past 8 years alongside of all of you with our YouTube and with Eli and I growing our children and our families. Eli's been exposed to other Marines and other special operators because of me. I've
yeah.
been exposed to bliss and adulthood and stability because of Eli, and it's helped me. It's been a lot of fun. One day we'll have to just share some of these stories that we've grown, just are literally our company right in front of your guys' eyes, and we couldn't appreciate you guys more
That's
for who
true.
you are. And aloha, Eli and Will. Aloha.
Yeah.
What you
So
guys doing?
Ben, I know who that is. So Ben is moving from Hawaii, and they are
Yeah.
purchasing a beautiful home by Infinity in Ridgegate at Lone Tree. If you guys saw our video a couple of weeks ago, we did a tour of one of the models that they're actually going to be buying. And man, we're excited to have you here. Thanks for tuning in, Ben.
Same with Mike. I know he's talking about his daughter going to college at
Yep.
Arapahoe Community College. That's going to be a great commute, whether you're Parker or Castle
Hmm.
Rock. She'll be able to use some of those highways and everything. It's going to be great for her just going down to, I think, is it Santa Fe? It's
Yeah.
just 470 to Santa Fe. It's right there. It's a great commute.
Yep. Now, as far as the builders here in Tanterra, so far they're listing 3. I think there's going to be 5 total. Right now, they're featuring Richmond, Lennar, and Truemark as the primary builders. And then typically, what communities will do, they'll usually have 1 to a handful of main builders, and then they'll have some other builders come in and maybe build 20 to 30 homes in the community. So as of now, Richmond, Lennar, and Truemark are the main builders out in that area. You can expect prices to start around the 700. The heart of the homes out there will be 700 to roughly a million, probably going up to maybe 1.1, not getting too crazy out in Tanterra. But the name of the game in Tanterra is going to be master plan, parks, open space, 3,300 homes for you to choose from. So that's going to be a real big one there, and really great location here in Parker. I think the location is phenomenal. And one other thing too worth noting is you have this Reuter Hess Reservoir here. I want to see if we can't maybe show you guys that. Let me jump over to one of these trails here. So look at these trails that are just right around the corner from Tanterra. Tanterra is actually just on the other side right here, but this is just a big open body of water. It's a reservoir. There's no beaches or anything like that on it yet. I could see them developing this a little bit more. Right now, it is literally just for water storage. But look at these, trails that go all around this. I mean, this is right. Here's a little beach right here.
Is that via Eli's helmet cam or what?
It is, yeah. Totally. But this is the stuff in your backyard, guys. And this is exactly why people move to Colorado, because you don't have to go to the mountains to go mountain biking around a lake. You can live in Tanterra and bike 5 minutes across the road to get to this reservoir here. And it is absolutely gorgeous. These trails go all the way around. This is actually a really beautiful feature out here. And they also do have what we call a mini incline. So if you guys aren't familiar, down in Manitou Springs, there is what's called the incline down there. And
Correct.
it is a gigantic trail going straight up a mountain made out of railroad ties.
Context. It'll take you about an hour to go up.
Yep.
If you're in great shape, you can probably do it in about 45 minutes to 51 minutes. An hour is okay. If you get an hour, some people take a little bit longer than an hour. If you struggle with getting acclimated to altitude, I mean, there's some of that, but it's railroad ties. It's really cool, fun community. It goes and does the incline, but it's about an hour. The mini incline is probably more so like a 10-minute, if that.
Yeah. If that, yeah.
But
You
it's
can
just, it's
sprint
also
it.
a
You can
lot
do
more
multiple
doable. It's
runs.
closer than going all the way down to Manitou Springs. It's right here by Philip S. Miller Park, isn't it, Eli?
Yes. Yeah, that's one of them. But now it's become a thing in Colorado for all of these parks to put in their mini inclines. So you guys can see this. Like here's probably a good picture of it here. Oh, access blocked.
What
Let me
is
see. I can
that?
just make this bigger here. Watch this. Here we go.
Yeah, super. And is that the main incline?
Yeah, so this is the main incline right here. Here's a better picture. So you
Yeah.
guys can see you're overlooking Manitou Springs down here, and you guys can just see how this goes straight up and then it goes down and straight up even more. So they have a mini version of this at that Hess Reservoir there. They have another mini version at Philip S. Miller Park down in Castle Rock. So it's kind of become a trending thing in
10
Colorado to
minutes
have
up,
these.
couple minutes down. Take your time going down. If you haven't done mountains or hills a lot, believe it or not, the descent is actually harder on your knees and your lower back
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of times than the actual climb. So take your time going down, but obviously it's closer than going all the way down to Manitou Springs. It's fun for workouts. It's fun to go grab a view. And a lot of times it's nice to go hiking, but you don't want to go hiking for an hour or two. And you don't necessarily need a workout. You just want to locally have some things to climb and get a mild workout if you like and enjoy community. And these mini inclines are great for that. And if you're curious on this, guys, we've also got a relocation guide and some area guides. I'm sure Eli can throw a relocation guide or an area guide up on the bottom of the screen. This will give you guys everything you need to know when it comes to relocating to Colorado, or if you're already in Colorado and you're relocating to a different area and you just want more information on these areas. This is about 40 pages. It's free. It's mobile friendly. It's for you. Hover over to that QR code. Take a look at it. If you guys have questions, in addition to obviously reach out. You can also text the number reload, and we can also get that over to you. But a lot of great details when it comes to not just your logistical move, but just area details that we talk about a lot in these lives and in our videos.
Oh, yeah. All right. Perfect. Now, next up here, we are going to feature the one. This is the one that is actually being developed right now. This is called Ken-Caryl. We'll have some debate in Colorado. Ken-Caryl versus Ken-Caryl. I say Ken-Caryl. Will, I don't know what you call it. Let's see.
Well,
Are you Ken-Caryl or Ken-Caryl type of guy?
I'm Ken-Caryl.
Okay, there we go. It's
Carol's
C-A-R.
a little. It's. But I also
C-A-R-Y-L.
reservoir, right? So like, I don't know if I'm the guy.
Yeah, good point. Now, what is super unique about this one here, I'm going to go ahead and share our screen and show you guys where this is. This is exactly why I wanted to feature this one. So I'm going to zoom out here and give you guys some context. So we've got Denver right up here, and then this red pin down here is Ken-Caryl Ranch. So we're sitting southwest of Denver, and you'll see we're sitting right at the end of the 470 loop, where 470 is going out west. And then as soon as it starts running into the foothills, it's going to go up.
No, and like
north.
this is the thing. This is the thing with the English language and with Colorado specifically. See how they put that Y in there? And somehow right? That's supposed to make it say it's supposed to make it sound like Carol versus just spelling Carol out.
Yeah. You know,
I
like Ken-Caryl.
That makes it a Carol versus a Carl, and it's like the Y is not silent for whatever reason. It makes Carl. Like, I don't know, versus just spelling it out, right? Like it's so you know what? Make it home, make it whatever you like, whichever one you say corrects you or not. They know what you're talking about.
There we go. 100%. Now, as we're looking at this, there are two new developments that are right here. You have Ken-Caryl Ranch, and you also have Red Rocks Ranch here as well. Okay. Now, these are both Toll Brother and Lennar communities. I want to say that Red Rocks Ranch is exclusively Toll Brothers. But Ken-Caryl up here. And what's interesting about these two communities, guys, is a couple things. So this is the closest you can get to the foothills with the quickest mountain access while still being a new build master plan community. Okay.
Correct.
That's the big draw to people. If you're moving out here to Ken-Caryl Ranch, you're moving out here because you want to be as close to the foothills as possible without necessarily being in the foothills. You're also
we got a question here, Eli. I'm sure Eli.
Yeah, go ahead.
Trying to answer this, but we've got a question. Doesn't that area have
bentonite soils
in Colorado? I mean, this is a lot of why we have radon mitigation systems. Depending on the level of where you're at, closer proximity to the mountains, you might get higher levels than if you're out east. Either way, radon mitigation systems, if I'm not correct, Eli, mitigate just about all of that.
Yeah, so bentonite is going to be located, and for you guys that don't know, bentonite is a type of soil that's very expansive. So
Correct.
it gets expansive when it's wet, and it also shrinks a lot when it gets dry. That means that there's a lot of potential movement in the soil underneath your house, right? So you will find that in certain areas of Colorado, particularly all along the foothills, not just this area necessarily, but Highlands Ranch, any of this west side stuff up here in Arvada, up in
Yeah.
Boulder. And basically, what that means, it's not necessarily something to be afraid of, it's something to be aware of. I would say if you're buying a pre 1990s home, yeah, you're going to want to make sure you're really doing some due diligence with like structural work and stuff like that, making sure
The
there's
one that
not a
kind
lot
of
of
takes its
shifting.
course is good, but explain like the radon, because I know obviously radon
Yeah,
mitigation systems are for radon, but isn't it because of the bentonite in the soil and some of that shifting? Is that where the radon kind of seeps through?
I don't think it's necessarily from bentonite, but basically with radon here, guys, it is really important. So radon comes from excess levels of granite beneath the earth, like way
And
beneath
I
the
thought
earth's
for sure it
crust.
was bentonite. Okay.
Yeah, so there's, and maybe bentonite lets more of it through potentially.
Okay.
But as granite is breaking down, the byproduct gas that it creates is called radon. And it's not healthy for you. It can give you lung cancer if you're exposed to it for high levels over really long, prolonged periods of time.
Yeah.
But we have radon systems out here in Colorado. They're super affordable to put in. It's very common. And honestly, anywhere you live in Colorado, we're always doing a radon test. And there's a 50-50 chance that it could test high for radon or not.
Yeah, and radon mitigation systems, you can get a great one for $900. You know, like they,
Yep.
they they work great. They pretty much mitigate all of your radon within homes as long as they're functioning appropriately. Now, a
Yeah.
lot of times with new builds, when you've got these full size windows and basements and walkout basements, and you've even got, you know, if it's not a walkout basement, you've got large windows, but then you've also got open stairways that lead upstairs. The
Mhm.
biggest thing that mitigates radon inside of a home is just fresh air that flows versus
Yes.
some of these older homes that are from the 70s and 60s and even some that were built in the 80s that were just a little bit more constricted with airflow in the basements. Those were the ones that were more concerning. Definitely not as big of a problem with these new builds with as much airflow and high efficiency homes that they are. However, still getting one, especially as affordable as they are, man,
Yes.
they're awesome. You know,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
will say, like, we do have a drier climate here than a lot of states. Altitude keeps things high as well. We've got great soil. So a lot of things that you'll see in Colorado, as far as like things that we have to be careful of or take a look at during inspections, very rarely are foundations a problem. Like they tend to be very sturdy here. We've maybe in my 8-year career, 9-year career, Eli, I've seen maybe 2 foundations that had horizontal cracks that were that needed an engineer to come fix, and they were all older homes that you and I were
Oh, yeah.
investing on and getting those, you know, fixed and flipped per se, in investment style homes that we were looking at. The new stuff, I mean, unless it's a builder air, which I've never seen, like the soil does really well here for the most part.
Well, and not to go down a rabbit hole, but I think this is super helpful for people. So thanks for bringing that up, Mike. But what builders have to do now, and this is why I say like pre 1990, yeah, it might be a little bit different. But
Yeah,
what they have to do now, anytime they're building, they'll have to do these soil tests. And then the soil tests tell them how expansive the soil is and how much bentonite is in there. And then if it tests above a certain threshold, what they do is they put in what's called a structural floor, which is actually more structurally sound than a house just built on slab. So what it is when you're in one of these basements, you'll see that it has like a plywood subfloor. You're not actually on the dirt, and there'll be a crawl space in there. So they'll build the foundation, and then the house sits usually about 4 to 5 feet above the actual foundation, or I'm sorry, above dirt. And then they'll
right.
have, big steel beams that run lengthwise of the house. So there's almost zero fluctuation on those homes when they're built on structural subfloors. And arguably, again, like I said, they're more structurally sound than just a house that is built slab on grade.
Correct.
All right. Now that I'm done with that spiel, a couple other things I want to point out about this particular area. So we've got Ken-Caryl Ranch down here. There is one other new build community. It is built and established called Red Rocks Ranch. This is the other one that I was mentioning. This is a Toll Brothers community.
And
Now,
these
what's
are
nice?
definitely both, you consider these Southwest, correct?
Yeah. Yep. Now, with these, again, you're extremely close to the foothills. You're basically sitting right next to the mountains. So you get the most beautiful views without having to deal with any of the real mountain living that comes along with that. And you're located right on 470. So if you're looking to get into the mountains, you're either typically heading straight out Highway 85. Where's 85 right here? Or you're coming up north on 470 and heading out I-70. I mean, this is probably a 10-minute stretch right here from Red Rocks Ranch up to I-70, where you're in the mountains at this point as soon as you start heading west right here. But one other thing I want to point out is Bear Creek Lake Park. This is actually a state park. So Bear Creek Lake, this is a gorgeous area. This is one of the most like underutilized state parks I think that we have. But you're 5 minutes from Ken-Caryl Ranch, you're 30 seconds from Red Rocks Ranch, from having state park access here with multiple big lakes, tons of trails, hiking, mountain biking. So again, when you're talking about literal like Colorado State Park, it's in your backyard right here. So again, this is one of the biggest draws for people. I would say when it comes to master plan communities, you are going to lack some of the other bigger amenities that you're going to find in like the big Castle Rock communities or a community like Tanterra, because you don't need a ton of open space in your neighborhood because you have a state park in your backyard.
Literally, right out your back gate, you've got these state parks.
Yeah.
But it also means, like, when you're just looking at it from a tactical standpoint, all those state parks are just protected land. So there's only so much land they can build homes as you get closer and closer to the mountains. Be no different than getting closer and closer to the ocean, right? Like, a lot of that is protected land. But again, it's there. It's for you. It's for everyone. So right out your back door, you guys can go run these trails. And I will say, Eli, a lot of these are still great on the weekends. They don't get overflowed.
Right.
A lot of times you'll get some popular ones in Boulder and things like that. There's a couple down in the Springs, like the Incline, that gets pretty popular in the spring and summer down in the Springs. But some of these, they're not as often hiked as some of the bigger ones, but they're just as beautiful, especially like Roxborough Park and some of the red rock that you get there. It's phenomenal.
Now, the other one that we're going to talk about here, this is Bella Mesa, and this is in Castle Rock, Bella Mesa North to be specific. Now, Bella Mesa, I'll read you guys a few quick little fun facts here. So it says, Bella Mesa is an exciting new neighborhood taking place in Castle Rock, designed to bring 525 new homes to the community. The 290-acre development by Cardell Homes, and I'll show you guys what Cardell Homes look like because I love them. It says will be far more than just residential living. With a planned park, generous open spaces, and easy access to regional trails, Bella Mesa North will provide residents with room to play, explore, and connect with nature. All right. So where exactly is Bella Mesa going to be? Let me go ahead and pop open a map of Castle Rock for you.
What was the builder that you mentioned, Eli, that you enjoyed?
Cardell.
Carnell?
Cardell, C-A-R-D-E-L.
Yeah.
Now, Cardell, let me pop this open to you guys here. One sec. All right. Let me move our pictures down here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to show you guys the map of Castle Rock and where exactly this is going to be located. So here we've got Castle Rock all fully outlined right here. Now, so many of the developments that we've been featuring are happening down here on the south side because that's where you have the majority of room to build. So this is where you're going to have Montaigne. This is where you're going to have Crystal Valley. And then you also have Macanta, which is all the way up here off of Crowfoot Valley, kind of on the way out of Castle Rock. And, you know, if I had to pick a complaint about Macanta, is that it almost doesn't feel like you're in Castle Rock. You kind of lose some of the Castle Rock scenery. It almost quite doesn't feel like you're in Castle Rock. Well, this Bella Mesa North community is going to be down here southeast of Macanta, almost directly east of downtown Castle Rock, where it is nothing but Castle Rock country right here. So it is actually going to be coming up, if I'm looking at this correctly, in this pocket that we have right here. And again, you have 526 homes, I think it was, being built. I'll show you guys what this looks like right here. So here is the plot map and a little bit of what this layout is going to look like. If I zoom in here, you can see right here in between all of the homes, they've got the parks, the open space, all of that cool stuff that we love in a master plan community. But then the biggest thing that I want to point out here is, man, how many of these lots they have that are externally facing. We're going to be backing to open space, especially these over here on this eastern side. We're going to be looking down into just these gulches and valleys, and just really cool,
Yeah.
specifically unique to Castle Rock homes, even here on the north side, where you're backing up to these gulches that are over here.
Well, and a
This is
lot
going
of
to be,
as you're looking at this aerial view, what you can't really tell too much is all the elevation in and
yes,
around this development. And a lot of times, what you guys will see in like old town, like old Denver, where it's more flat, you'll see it in like North Aurora. We call it Old Aurora, what we call lot and block. And lot and block is pretty much an ice cube tray, right? Like if you can imagine
yeah,
each little section where you fill water for an ice cube, that would be a spot for a house. And they're all right next to each other and they back up next to each other. And you just have neighborhood roads that go north, south, east, and west. And it's just that's just that, right? Well, a lot of what's happened, new development with Colorado is just really evolving into allowing the landscape to bleed into neighborhoods, immersing it into the neighborhoods. In addition to that, they've also structured lots to just have a lot more benefits. So when you see these unique developments that are kind of built how they are, and they're not so, straight up and down or left and right, like you'll see a lot in other states, you'll see it in more of the old side of Denver and Old Aurora. You're not seeing it here, but this is, again, so everybody can enjoy the landscape and be immersed in it and almost bringing the outside in. And a lot
yeah.
of that is because, and the benefit to that is the way it's structured as well, is you're also getting a lot of these homes that back to open space.
So here, I think, is a good example of what you're talking about, Will. So this is the area that is going to be nestled in here. And if I go and do like a 3D view for you guys, like look at this right here.
Yeah. Great cliffs. That was almost like a river right there, right? You've got
Right. Yeah, you
that.
can see it, huh?
And during like inclement weather, when it rains a lot in the spring and as it comes into fall, you probably do get a lot of running water that's down there. But you've got these nice cliffs and these bluffs, a lot of landscape. Obviously, you can see off to the distance, you've got more cliffs up toward the upper left-hand side. But this is where, the big thing about Colorado, and a lot of developers are doing it. So maybe it's a Colorado mandate. Maybe a lot of people just respect it. Maybe it also keeps home values up. But they're really building things into overall, like just allowing homes to have as much Colorado experience as possible, especially as we're talking, southeast all the way to southwest, right? So if Denver were a clock and Denver's in the center of the clock, 3 o'clock to about 8 o'clock is a lot of just where they're really focusing on a lot of the developments, and they're really adopting this ideology here.
Well, this is cool. After looking at this map, I now know why they call it Bella Mesa, because this is clearly a mesa that sits right here, and they're going to be building this whole development right on top of it.
And you're so good at Google Earth. I'm always bragging. I always call you Maverick from Top Gun, and I want to play the music.
But
and then you get bashful, so you just do these 2D maps all the time. And like, man, you fly this thing so awesome. Yeah.
Now, what I love about this, like this is that home, that eastern side of where those lots were going to sit. Imagine backing up to these cliffs. You won't come all the way to it, but man, just a gorgeous area for a development that's going to be popping up here. Now, I want to show you guys Cardell Homes, because they are a really good builder. I think they're based out of Canada. They're building in Canada, Colorado, and man, only like one other place. But there's a community in Parker, East Parker, where they're building. And I want to show you guys, this is just some examples of like their quick move-ins here. But they're very modern, contemporary, not overly contemporary to where it gets weird or anything like that. It's very Colorado. We'll call it Colorado contemporary.
Colorado contemporary. We have a lot of like mountain modern here as well. I know that's not what this is, but the modern contemporary, the modern mountain homes, like these are definitely the feng shui that's around right now.
It is, and they'll do some very unique things that you don't see with some of the other big builders. Like their windows are always very unique. They do these cool exposed wood beams. A lot of the things that you just can't do with other builders, these guys do, just straight out of the factory per se.
And the great thing about these high efficiency homes, Eli, when we talk about not just Cardell, but just a lot of your high efficiency new builds, is even though these ceilings are 20, 22 feet tall, 18 feet tall, 20 feet tall, you can still heat and cool the house just fine when it's hot weather, when it's cold weather. They've got great electric blinds that can automate and cover those things for you if you like. But it's, they're still really great as far as insulation. And making sure that just your day-to-day, not running your bill up on heat or cool, tend to still stay pretty well.
Yeah, and they'll do some things like here, I think is a good example of some cool things that they do. So you have your main sink and dishwasher like over here facing the open space. But
Yeah.
then you have this extra sink here for when you're maybe entertaining, making drinks, maybe for cooking. You just have some quick water access here right across from the stove. So they
Yeah.
just do some really cool high-end things that you don't see from a lot of builders. Here's a dog washing station in your
Yeah.
actual mudroom.
Welcome
And
to
these
Colorado, man. We love our animals here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is a quick move-in home, so this isn't a, like, custom home by any means. This
No,
is
like
one of
that's
their
the
quick
other thing,
move-in.
right? About some of these great builders, especially Cardell. Shay's a great builder. Toll Brothers, we've got a
Yep,
couple. We've got about 5 of our top favorite. They're constantly assessing what people are asking for from the dirt start. So when people are buying these brand new from the dirt, they haven't started building yet, and then they want certain things in the home. After that happens so many times, these quick move-ins, these spec homes, they tend to equip them with a lot of things that people want, knowing that that's what's going to be, the sell. So what I'm getting at is you can still get quick move-in homes that are going to have these unique things when it comes to some of these top
yeah.
builders that are in these new communities.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
Yeah.
let's talk finished basements and walkouts real quick.
Yeah.
So this is another thing that a lot of builders don't offer. Someone like Cardell does. So with this particular home, and again, this is in East Parker in a community called Vivint, Vivant. If you guys are interested, we've done a community feature on that before. We've actually walked through a Cardell home before. But guys, where else I don't know, I'm sure there's places, but when you can have mountain views out of the basement, that's crazy. That means you got a good house
It
on a good
makes
lot right
every
there.
part of your house usable. You're not gonna neglect the basement because it's the
Yeah,
basement and we'll go down there to watch movies, but that's it. Or no one wants to kind of hang out down there, but it's extra space, but you end up using it for storage.
exactly.
Not at all. It's a walkout. It's got tall ceilings. They're typically at least 10 feet, especially when you're getting to this quality of home. You're looking at 10 to 12 feet. They're walkouts. But when they make these homes and they're looking at the elevation of where the home starts and how they're setting that foundation, they're allocating the mountain views from the basement level on up. So it's not like
Yeah.
it's main level and upstairs, but then once you go downstairs, you lose view like you're going to have these views. But I know Cardell is doing it. I know Shea Homes right now. We just saw them today. We've got a great video coming out Saturday with them. They're also offering finished basements with some of their homes as
Yes.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Cardell Homes, typically they're going to start, they haven't released it yet. They're doing all of the internal infrastructure right now. So the water, the sewage, things like that. They are going to start building homes in 2026, however, probably quarter 3 or 4 of 2026. But I would anticipate that they're going to start around the 1-2 mark and probably go up to about 2. Pushing excess of maybe 2.5 or 3 if you want to get real crazy with maybe the best house on the best lots that back up to those cliffs or that open space. But I would anticipate probably about the mid ones as
Yeah.
the average price point in the area. All right, we ready for our last one?
Oh, excuse me. Now, real quick, sorry to cough. What I will say when you look at these lot premiums
Yes.
and the view that you're going to have, they hold value. So when you guys are looking at Colorado as a company as a whole, we hold value. I know we had some decrease in home prices. That was across the media. I know the media was talking about real estate as a whole, and hey, Colorado is one of the markets that's decreased prices the most in the past, 6 months, 12 months. And what we explained on that live was that was a decrease in price from what people were asking for their home. Correct. Versus where it would sell. These were not appraised prices that were going down. So you've got to understand people out here, they tend to get very proud of their homes if they've been in it for 2 years and they're trying to get top dollar. They're just not necessarily versed with, depending on the market, where you can sell your home. But there hasn't just been a decrease in value where you buy something and it's just not able to sell. It's where people were reaching. That's where the majority of where you saw some of that decrease. Most importantly is when you look at even through 2008's housing market crash all the way through to present day, Colorado's got a great housing economy. Colorado holds its values really well. In addition to that, when you're looking at master plan communities like this and lot premiums where you've got views like this and homes that are built like this, they hold their value. These homes have extraordinary demand for people that when they're moving to Colorado, this is where they want to be. So if you guys are looking at some of these new communities that are coming up that are already being built right now, and you're looking at moving in the next couple of months, or maybe it's a year from now, and you look at some of these other communities, either way, definitely book a call with us and ask these questions. But You're not going to have to worry about these equity problems when you're getting into these lot premiums. These are the high demand. These are the seats that people want. Just like you got oceanfront in California and Florida and on the East Coast, you name it, Northwest. Anytime you can get views of the valley and of the mountains, I mean, that's the equivalent, right? So definitely some great lots to be had. And now what's nice about Colorado compared to the coast is you only got so many ocean views and lake views because the lakes are flat and the ocean is flat. You got to be right up on it to get that view. Here in Colorado, you've got these valleys and these mesas and these canyons and these bluffs and the Rocky Mountains that are 14,000 feet in the air that get seen from a lot of places. So mountain views and lot premiums, they stretch from the top of the state all the way down to the bottom of the state, depending on where you guys want to be. So it's something that is super doable. And as much as we're showing developments, Colorado is still pretty unincorporated, hence why our traffic is still really well, even during rush hour. So also consider that when you guys are looking at your moves. But either way, if you guys have questions, whether it's the reload guide or hovering over this QR code here and having a phone call with myself and Eli to ask your specific questions where we can help, hover over that. But no, man, let's dive into the last one that we got tonight. I'm really excited for this one as well.
All right, perfect. So the final community we are talking about tonight, this is the newest up and coming that we have here in Parker. It is called Piney Trail Estates. Now, Piney Trail Estates, this is a Toll Brothers exclusive community, and let's call it more so a pocket neighborhood. Now, with this community, you're looking at just 176 homes from Toll Brothers, again, specifically. You're in a really unique location. Let me show you guys where you're going to be sitting here. So I'll zoom out here a little bit. Now, this is a Parker address, okay? Like literally the corner of Parker. Here we've got the heart of Parker.
Is it northeast Parker? Yeah.
It is, yeah. So here we've got the heart of Parker right here. This red pin up here, this is right at the corner of where the Piney, what is it? I don't remember the name. Piney Trail Estates. That's it. Piney Trail Estates.
So now, it's going to when they do their shopping, not to jump ahead, but they be doing their shopping at Southlands Mall. Is that what's closer? Because even though you're technically Parker, Douglas County right there, but you're almost on the backside of Southeast Aurora, correct?
That's exactly.
I guess you're smack dab in the middle, aren't you?
That's exactly where I was going with it. So if you guys look, literally county line, this is the border of Parker's down here. Southeast Aurora is up here, just on the north side of county line. So if you're looking to go to the movies, to go to Southlands, the big outdoor mall, to get some good restaurants, like good family restaurants, you're going to take, what is it? Powhatan? How do I say it? Powhatan, sure. Powhatan. And then Smoky Hill all the way to Southlands, which is a phenomenal outdoor shopping mall. So much cool stuff there. You're right here by the reservoir, the Aurora Reservoir right here. You've got a beautiful beach out here. And then if you go down south, this is where you're going to have Parker. And man, I bet Southlands is closer than Parker because this is all back roads right here. You can just take,
but you've got North Parker where you've got Trader Joe's and you've got Costco right there on. So if you can zoom out a little bit, Eli.
Yep.
Zoom out right there. And then, zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, zoom in. Okay. Now, if you can circle Southlands Mall with red and then just circle Parker Road and 470.
Yep.
Maybe with like a marker.
Southlands is what, right here?
Right on 470 and Smoky. Yeah. Yep. So about right there. So if you circle that roughly, right, and then circle 470 and Parker Road. I mean, so because you could still do north. I mean, you could still hop. Either one of these are good depending on where you want to go. Either way you choose, whether you want bigger shopping or just Trader Joe's and Costco and whatnot. Like both of these are definitely within a 10-minute commute.
100%. And then you've got, downtown Main Street in Parker, which is super cute. A lot of cool things that are coming up in there as well. They are going to have these 176 units completed by 2026, which is kind of crazy. They can build a ton in a year.
Do we have like some details from their website on what they look like?
Yeah. So if we come over to their website here, they're going to show you, they don't show a ton. They're going to have two different options. They have the Overlook collection, and then I believe the Reserve collection. So a couple different price tiers here. But this should be starting around 800 and then going up to about 1.2 to about 1.5. So better, a little higher entry point than Tanterra. But here you're looking at Toll Brothers, guys, which they're not even building in Tanterra. And if you guys aren't familiar with Toll Brothers is definitely one of two, like what we would consider luxury big builders, big box builders out here. Toll Brothers and Shea are pretty much the two big nationwide builders that do a really good product all of the time here.
Yeah.
And out here, here's another interesting thing I wanted to point out. So these are going to be Douglas County school districts. Okay. It says 5 luxury home designs ranging up to 3,781 square feet, not including the basement. But what's cool is they're putting these RV garages in here. Yeah. So what's really nice is you'll have like your traditional 2-bay, 2-car garage. And then instead of just a normal 3rd bay, normal size garage, it has, probably a 15 or 18-foot garage door so that you can actually park your RV in here, because so many people have RVs in Colorado, but your only option, because we also have HOAs, you can't just leave that parked in front of your house, is to go store it at a facility somewhere.
And you don't want to either inclement weather and pine cones and pine needles. You just don't want to do all that or have to try to cover it, or you're spending $200 to $500 a month or whatever it costs to store somewhere. I mean, this is amazing. If you don't have an RV, what does it mean for you? Well, resale is always great because a lot of folks in Colorado, they do like doing things like that. So it makes your resale if you ever do that. Awesome. Or, hey, maybe you want to put a home gym in there. Maybe you want to put some racks on the roof for some more storage. Maybe you want to build a loft. We've seen a lot of folks take their RV section of the garage where it's so tall, and they actually build a loft upstairs for entertainment. It kind of becomes like, I want to call it the man cave. It's not that women can't enjoy the garage and entertainment as well, but it kind of becomes like that, and a lot of folks do that. Eli and I would have our podcast up there, and then probably the gym on the main floor. I'm not an RV guy, but what's nice is just there's so many different ways to utilize that space that you have, and it's on your property. It's a part of your home, and it's amazing. Now, Eli, when they're building that garage, are those going to be attached to the home or detached?
Yes. Yeah. So attached. So it'll be 2-bay and then RV right in front, right next to it.
Which is amazing, right? When it comes to like overall keeping it heated, if you guys want to hook up some additional space heaters or some high efficiency space heaters, you guys can have for those if you need to, when you're keeping it warm in there, just to make sure in case, I guess you have to plug those things in and start them. And then just getting in and out, not having to walk across your property from a detached garage just adds additional comfort. But that's something, and this is what's so cool about some of these builders, man, is they're very savvy with where demand goes. I remember, Eli, 8 years ago when upper level laundry became a thing. It was like, oh yeah. I mean, all the rooms primarily upstairs. Why wouldn't the laundry be up there versus carrying the laundry up and down? And it was like so convenient. These RV things, just with where the market's going and where people like to travel and enjoy Colorado and cross-countrying, as they see it, they just build it into that budget and they make it work. And it's really cool that you can have that now on a turnkey brand new home.
Now, the last thing I want to point out about this community right here is that they are going to have parks, they are going to have open space. What they're not going to be having is the big master plan, community center and pool. But if you look just across the street, what do we have here? Blackstone Country Club. We'll fill them in on Blackstone Country Club because this will essentially be your resort type amenity space if you so choose.
And you can choose, because Blackstone Country Club does allow members to be members at the country club that don't live in the Blackstone neighborhood, right? So you can absolutely be a member of this country club. This is going to be within 6 minutes, maybe 8 minutes of where you're living on some of the roads.
It's across the street from where they're at right here.
Oh, yeah, they build up. It's literally across the street, right?
Yeah, right here.
Cool.
Yeah, so here's Blackstone. Yep.
Great spot.
Oh, yeah.
Great spot they've got. And what I mean by full country club, I mean, I'm not using that loosely. This is a full country club when it comes to tennis, pickleball. They've got nightly things throughout the evenings for members. They've got things for family when it comes to the holidays and Easter and Zumba. You name it. They've got a full-on restaurant. They just dropped a ton of money into their new gym. You guys can see some of that in that video. You'll be my neighbor. I just live right across the street as well in South Shore. Both are great, but this is definitely something that you can be a member of, and it's been phenomenal. We've been there several times. We've been guests there. It's always been a great experience.
And I don't remember their membership fees, obviously inquire, but they were really reasonable. And you can join.
You don't have to have the golf. You don't have to have the golf one. So the golf one's a little bit pricey. I think it's like you know, and pricey is subjective. I know a lot of guys and a lot of girls geek out on golf, and there's really cool stuff that costs a lot of money to get into. I think it's like a $10,000 deposit maybe for golf to be a full-on golf member. Don't quote me on that. I'm obviously not a golfer. One day I'll get there. For now, we're helping clients buy homes and we're raising kids. So there's no golf time. When Eli and I are retired, maybe. But what's nice is you don't have to be that type of member. You can just be a community member where you can go enjoy the gym and the Starbucks and the restaurant and the pools and the hot tubs and the saunas and the workout facility. And it's very reasonable. I think it's $100-something a month or a couple $100
It's
a
really
month.
affordable. Yeah. It's very, very
especially
affordable
for what it is, because this is one of the most quality luxury golf course. We've been to a lot of golf courses in Colorado. When you guys see this, the fact that we have this in Southeast Aurora / Douglas County, I mean, it is top notch. This is something that you would expect to see in Aspen. Matter of fact, if you saw it in Aspen, you would definitely think it belongs.
Yeah, totally.
This is a great spot.
Yeah. So this is a really good solution for some of these little pocket communities that are building out there where they don't have a ton of room to build all this stuff, because you can just utilize this resource right here. And if you don't utilize things like that, then you're not forced to pay for it in your community. So that's it for today, man. Happy 2025 to you guys and happy upcoming new year. We're super excited coming to 2026. I think the future real estate market is finally going to unleash. We're seeing interest rates come down. We're in this really interesting time right now where we still have a good amount of inventory for people who are shopping, and interest rates have come down enough to where it's a lot more realistic for people to buy. And on top of that, with all of the new build incentives that are happening right now, you're still seeing a ton of motivation from new builds that are out there.
2-1 buy downs, 3-1 buy downs. I mean, it's really affordable as far as like where it's been comparatively for the last 3 years. Obviously, we see you guys every week. We're live every week. We've raised our families with you guys. We've gone through ups and downs with you guys. And my mother passed away, and I got so many Instagram messages because she was our number one fan. And you know, we really feel like we love our community. We support our community. You guys have supported us for so long and trusted us with your real estate needs. Anything we can do for you guys, whether it's booking this Zoom call and this QR code or just throwing us a phone call, we are the guys that answer those phone calls. We're here for you guys. You don't outsource a personal brand. This is our brand. This is what we do. We love you and appreciate you guys for everything. We've got a great video coming up Saturday. Definitely stay tuned for that. Mike, see you in 2026 as well.
Yes, sir.
Everyone else that's chimed in. Love and appreciate you guys. If I missed any of them, Eli, as always, man, I appreciate your time. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I see you almost every day. So
that's right.
I'll be seeing you tomorrow. But either way, man, there's just a lot of really cool stuff going on. And again, in addition to booking a call, if you guys want to hover over this and grab our relocation guide to answer some of your questions ahead of time before you have a conversation, also more than okay. Wherever we can build some value, that's free. That's for you guys. It's mobile friendly. It's awesome. Take a look at that. Let us know where we can help you guys with your real estate needs.
All right. We will see you guys in 2026.
I only use 3. I might have been exaggerating. And look, just true to dads, true to guys, I'm not good at being sick. I'm just going to tell you.
100%,
Women are
100%.
way stronger than men. I mean, I only needed 3 nose blows, but I brought this whole thing. So I'm a baby. I might have exaggerated. I call it plain. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not
There
have
we
it.
go. There you go. Hopefully they're like the extra soft kind of paper towels. That hurts my nose.
They're coarse. I'm surprised my nose isn't bleeding.
You're tougher than I am, bro.
Yeah,
all right, guys. We appreciate you all. We will see you